It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
ShipShape, Florida's only boat improvement show, is being brought to you in part by Freedom Marine, where we take a bite out of the high-priced boat dealers, and by the paint professionals at Cape Marina, located in Port Canaveral, and by Florida Watercraft, now with 2 locations to serve you, and by the friendly folks at Boathouse Discount Marine. If you need it, we probably have it.
Thanks again for tuning in to ShipShape, the Boat Improvement Show. I'm your host, John Greviskis, on location today at Team Repower at DMCI in Boca Raton, Florida, where today we're going to take a look into repowering a 42-foot Bertram. Now, there are a few reasons that people repower their vessels these days. One naturally is wear and tear, but more and more people are getting into increased performance and increased horsepower, and that's what we're going to talk about and look at today. Now, if there is a suggestion for a boat-related project that you'd like to see covered here on ShipShape, please write us a letter or send us a fax.
Write your project suggestions to ShipShape, the TV show. Attention Project Director, Post Office Box 31561, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida 33420. Or fax us at area code 407-626-4348.
One of the great reasons for writing into the show is not only will it help you in your penmanship skills, but if we use your suggestion on the show, we're going to go ahead and send you out an official 100% cotton ShipShape t-shirt. So keep those ideas coming in. Right now, we need to hear a word from the folks that make the show possible, but you'll want to stick around because when we come back, I'll introduce you to Steve Phillips, the sales manager out here at DMCI.
Don't drift away. ShipShape will be right back.
Welcome back to the show. With me today is Steve Phillips, the sales manager out here at DMCI. Steve, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to see us.
Once again, John, it's my pleasure.
Now, can you tell us the steps involved in doing a repower, Steve?
Sure, John. There's several steps in every vessel repower. The first and probably the most important step is to establish application.
Okay.
When I say that, you have to look at the vessel and decide what you have. Is it pleasure craft? Is it commercial craft? Is it medium, light, or heavy duty?
I've got you. I've got you. Once all that's assessed, what's the next phase?
Then you have to decide what you need to accomplish with this repower. As far as speed, longevity, fuel economy, or just an upgrade of your vessel.
So there's quite a few factors to take into account. Now, once those are all assessed, you pretty much have a direction of what type of engine to put into your boat. Is that correct?
Absolutely, John.
Okay. Now, today we're going to be doing a 42-foot Bertram, and we're taking out what kind of power?
We're taking out a pair of 6-cylinder V engines, 475 horsepower, replacing with a pair of inline 6-cylinder, 600 horsepower MAN diesels.
Well, it sounds to me like the owner of this boat wants to get more performance, a little bit more speed out of it.
Absolutely. That's his main concern, is to go a little faster.
Okay. Now, you guys have come up with some kind of concept out here called Team Repower at DMCI. Can you tell us a little about that?
Sure, John. Here at DMCI, we've established Team Repower in the last several years because we were into the repower market pretty heavy. What we have here is we have certain groups of people in our shop that do certain jobs pertaining to every repower. We have fabricators, We have electricians, we have technicians, we have whatever it takes to make the repower go as smooth as possible.
So you basically have specialists that's going to help on saving time, which is going to translate into saving money.
Absolutely, time is money.
Well, hey, that's fantastic. Now let's talk again about this this CAD program. Now, who's going to be showing me this?
Our company president and chief engineer Pat Ritchie will be showing you the CAD system.
Okay. Now the CAD system again is what?
The CAD system basically is a scanner that you would use in conjunction with your computer. You would scan the engine and its mounts, its fabrication brackets, the stringers, what have you. It's a lot of work that you actually do in the shop that you would normally do on the vessel or in the shop without the use of this particular system.
So again, you're saving the boat owner a tremendous amount of time. I mean, when you're talking about how they used to do repowers, and how a lot of companies, I guess, still do, is they have to physically put that engine into where it's going to go, mark out where the bracketry is going to line up, and then fabricate it there. You're saving a tremendous amount of time with this program.
Sure, John. I can remember years ago when we did exactly that. You would take an engine, you would literally set it in the engine compartment, make your designs, make your measurements, make whatever you have to do to make that engine fit, then possibly pull the engine all the way back out, do your fabrication, what you have to do, and this takes days, sometimes weeks, whereas the CAD system cuts that down into hours.
Well, you're touching on time right now. Let's talk about time frame of if somebody wanted to do a repower. What kind of time frame are we looking at from start to finish?
Well, John, that obviously depends on the vessel, what type of engine you're putting in. If you're going like for like, it goes a lot faster than if you're going from gas to diesel or diesel to diesel on a different type engine.
Well, you know, that's another whole point that you're bringing up is, you know, there are different needs for repower. A lot of people today are switching from gas power to diesel power. Now, why is that?
Well, one factor is safety, obviously. The second factor is the cost of a new boat.
Okay.
If you've been to a boat show lately, which I'm sure you have, if you go out and price the vessels that people are interested in, they're finding out that it's actually cheaper and more practical to maybe possibly find a gas-powered vessel and then turning around and repowering with diesel.
I've got you. So you're looking at safety, you're looking at, again, cost and performance.
Well, the cost of the diesel engine initially is more money, but in the long run, it's going to pay off in big dollars.
Again, today we're going to be doing a diesel-to-diesel repower on the 42-foot Bertram. Now, who is going to be showing me the CAD system?
Our company president and chief engineer, Pat Ritchie, will be going over that with you today.
Let's turn it over to Pat.
John, this is a CAD installation drawing that we generate to go ahead and establish, you know, how the engine fits into the vessel. And in this case here, it's a MAN 2866 600 horsepower engine that's mated with a twin disc 5114A transmission.
So this is the engine that's going into the Bertram.
This is the engine that's going into the Bertram and the package with this transmission.
So the CAD system allows you to match up different transmissions to different engines.
That's correct.
Lays out all your specs. And what else can it do?
Well, it does it all to scale, and it also, what we can do is we can rotate the engine where you can get a top view of the engine as well and see how the mounting configuration is there.
Hey, that's great.
As well as, you know, rear views of the engine to establish, you know, the clearances and required depths of the engine.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, Pat, what kind of procedures go on in the shop here?
Well, we do a lot of fabrication here. In some cases, the engine mounts, we have to fabricate these engine mounts to fit the vessel. The specifications to the vessel, whether it's 12, 24, 32 volt, we may have to modify the engine, you know, to the vessel specifications. So anything that's required to get the engine to the specification of the vessel is what's done in this location here.
Stay tuned for more Ship Shape.
Now, Pat, this is the actual engine that we're going to be putting into our Bertram.
That's correct. And right now we're in the stage of modifications where we are outfitting the new engines with the equipment that the vessel needs. For example, we've just outfitted with a 12-volt alternator, as these engines originally are 24-volt.
Okay.
So we've gone ahead and outfitted it with a 12-volt alternator, a 12-volt starter, and we've outfitted it with the wiring harnesses all for 12-volt.
So pretty much the engine comes in as like a base model. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
Yeah, that's
Stripped
correct.
down.
That's correct. Engines of this size, in all cases, repowers, there's a degree of custom installation involved. And the owners, in many cases, want the engines painted in different colors. Sometimes we want them white, sometimes we want them red, sometimes we want them green. So we have to accommodate that. So we get the engines and we paint them any color that the customer wants. We outfit them with the electrics that the customer needs. And then we fabricate brackets and so forth so that it will fit into the vessel the way it needs to fit in there.
Well, what I'd like to talk about is a couple of days ago we went ahead and filmed the process of the old engines coming out of our Bertram. Now, Pat, can you kind of tell us what's all involved in the removing process?
Well, we perform a service preparation on the boat, includes supporting all the decks and superstructure so that as we set up the frames inside the boat and lift the engines out, that there's no stress put into the boat. There's plywood and protective coatings all placed all around the boat so that there's no scratching or anything that is done to the boat.
Now, this is quite an ordeal that's going on.
Oh, it is. It's a big project. It is a big project. It's not hard to do. It just takes some time, and in the end, it's just like having like a brand new engine room again.
Sure, sure. So there's quite a bit of expertise that goes into the actual route that the engine's going to take to come off the boat and all that.
Yes, yes, there's different ways of doing that, and that's where our experience is very valuable. There's times where we actually railway the engines out of there. We build a railway to roll them out. There's times where we can bring them out on our A-frames, and we don't have to build a railway. But no, there's several methods of getting them out of there. In the case of the 42 Bertram, we were able to just A-frame the engines out, and we have trolleys on our A-frames that permit us to trolley the engines right out of the boat.
Let's talk about performance that the old engines were giving the boat. What was it running at?
Well, the original engines were pushing the boat somewhere in the area of 22 knots at full throttle.
Okay. Now, what are we going to anticipate performance-wise out of the new MAN engines?
We expect speeds in excess of 30 knots, probably 31, 32 knots. John, we're in our modification shop right now, and one of the things that we're working with is the original stringer caps that came off where the engines used to sit. We are modifying these right now so that the new engines will go in place on top of them.
Now, Pat, what do we have going on here?
This is an area that we've cut out where the new transmissions are a little bit wider than the old transmissions. So there's two stringers that we had to cut a little area away so that there was room for the transmission in between the stringer. There was clearance.
And that CAD system told you to do this?
Yes, it did. The CAD system dimensions and the pre-measurements of the old stringers, we were able to determine that area needed to be modified.
Now, what's going on with these pedestals?
These pedestals are the original ones, and they won't work for our new engines. They're too small, they're not right. So we cut them off, and we will be manufacturing new pedestals to fit on there so that the new mounts, larger mounts, can set on them properly.
Well, this looks to be like a 10, 11 degree kind of setup. What are we going to go with?
Well, originally it was 12 degrees, and because we have an offset transmission of a 7-degree down angle, the new pedestals will be at 5 degrees, so it is a completely different angle than what was originally there.
Well, I'd love to take a look at some of the other fabrication that you've got going out here. Let's head on over and do that.
Okay.
Pat, what do we have going on over here?
That's a transmission cooler bracket that we're packaging to go ahead and get on these engines.
So this is some of the custom manufacturing that you guys do out here.
Yes, it is. We can't go to a book and pull out a bracket that's just going to bolt up for us, so we manufacture these brackets to put them into the vessel.
I've got you. What's your welder building over here?
He's building some rear engine mounts for the engine that'll go on the transmission and fit to the stringer.
Well, I'd love to see how they're put together.
Don't sail away. ShipShape will be right back.
The SureHold Soft Brush. Perfect for use on boats, cars and trucks, decks and patios, and even windows. Specially designed split-end bristles hold more soap and water for effortless and effective cleaning. built-in safety bumper protects surrounding surfaces from accidental damage. The included 48-inch threaded wooded handle is sturdy, lightweight, and strong. Proudly made in the USA, the Surehold Marine Mate Soft Brush is the worldwide standard in deck brushes. Surehold. Clean and simple.
Here's an idea for you to get more boat for your money. Go ahead and buy yourself a good used hull, put a new engine on the boat, and then have your hull refurbished with the paint professionals at Cape Marina. Cape Marina can take an old faded hull and bring it back to life. All Grip is the paint of choice above the waterline, and Pettit paint is what you'll want to use for your bottom paints. Cape Marina in Port Canaveral is the largest and most trusted boatyard, ship store, and storage facility on the Central East Coast. And with the most competitive prices on paint jobs, Cape Marina is your only choice. See for yourself by calling for a free estimate today.
The world's #1 fishing boat just got better. Introducing the new Pro Team 17. Now this boat was built to fish. With a huge casting deck, truly dry storage. With 3 across seating, you can take your fishing buddy and your other fishing buddy. Tracker boats just keep getting better and better.
Drop in to Castaway Marine in Palm Bay. Why are more and more people getting away from paint and going to powder coating? Simple. Powder coating is environmentally friendly, cost-effective, and will meet or exceed traditional paint's durability. You see, powder coating is electrostatically applied, so every nook and cranny gets covered evenly with no drips, runs, or dry spots. XL Coatings in Port Canaveral is the powder coating giant for any of your marine needs. Oxidation getting you down? Don't throw that tower or T-top away. XL Coatings can powder coat your marine parts, baking on a beautiful, durable finish that will last and last. For an excellent finish, XL Coatings.
Chapman's Corner is brought to you by Chapman School of Seamanship.
Today on Chapman's Corner, we want to show you some of the procedures to utilize if you run your vessel aground. We've got a sandbar in front of us that we're going to run aground in. Whoa, geez. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is put my engine in neutral. Okay, I'm going to go to my kill switch, turn my engine off. The reason I want to turn my engine off is I don't want to be circulating that muddy, sandy water that's getting taken up into the engine intake, and it's not good for your lower unit, or in the case of an inboard engine, your filters and units, things such as that. Next thing I want to do is I want to kick up my outdrive on this particular vessel because it's an IO. Get that out of the water. Once that's up, I'll take my boat hook, and now I'm going to poke around a little bit and try to find out where my deep water is. That way, it'll give me a logical idea or way to try to figure out how to get off of the sandbar. From Chapman School of Seamanship, this is Tom Dante.
Now, I'm in Melbourne, Florida today at Freedom Marine with Kobe, the Freedom Marine dog. And today we're going to take a look at Bayliner. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, we're here with Frank Conte, the sales manager of Freedom Marine. Frank, thanks so much for having us out today.
Good morning, John. Thanks for inviting me out here today.
Today we are going to talk about Bayliner, and Frank, there's been some real misconceptions on the market lately about Bayliner. Can you kind of address those things?
Oh yeah, John. A lot of people have a real bad feeling and a bad taste about Bayliner from the olden days on it. The company has totally changed on it.
Now, how has it changed?
Well, since 1989, the company was sold out to the Brunswick Corporation.
Well, that's a huge company.
Oh, it's a very big company.
They're the people that own Sea Ray, they own Robalo, they own Mercury, as well as Mercruiser.
This is correct, John. Yes.
So Bayliner today is in good company.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're the largest recreational company in the world today on it.
Fantastic. Now let's talk about this boat in particular, Frank. This is the Capri 1950.
Yeah, this is a Capri 1950 on it. This is one of our most popular models that was ever built by Bayliner. It's been around for a lot of years, and this body styling on it, because of all the features that it offers on it. It's a nice, big, wide, deep, comfortable boat.
Fantastic. How's the boat powered?
The boat is powered all by Mercruiser. It's a total package, and it's all Mercury, Mercruiser powered on all their boats on it.
Now this appears to be a very well-built ski boat. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's an excellent ski boat on it because of the design of the hull on it. Bayliner uses their sequential lift hull design on it, which is a patented exclusive on it, which gives it a better performance, better out of the hull than many other boats in a comparable size and all on it.
Now, what kind of fuel capacity do you have with this boat?
This boat's got a 28-gallon fuel tank built in on it. It's an inboard tank on it.
Okay. And what kind of range could you expect?
Oh, you expect to burn about 2 to 3 gallons an hour with a boat like this here.
So you could take this boat out with the entire family and literally spend the entire day on the water and still have gas.
Yeah, that's right, John.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's talk about the interior.
The interior has a unitized body construction of the entire boat on it. Everything is tied together on it, and everything now is a molded-in fiberglass. The seat boxes, bases are all molded fiberglass on it, so it's not the old conventional screwed-down type boxes on it.
Gotcha. So that's changed a lot when you're talking about Bayliner.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it adds a lot of the integrity strength to the boat, and it gives you a much solider, much better feel to the boat on it.
Now let's talk about the deck. In the old days, the decks on Bayliner were plywood. Today, it's a little different.
Yes, it is totally different today. What they have is a resin-coated deck on here on it, so you're not going to get any absorption of water. And say when you hose it down, after you've gone out fishing with the boat, you can rinse your deck right down on other boats.
So when you're talking about that unitized body style, totally being waterproof, a lot of the problems of old have been eliminated.
Yes, it has. A lot of the wood rot and things that they had in the past are no longer in today's things.
Well, that's great. Brunswick really thought ahead. Let's talk about the trailer on this boat here, Frank.
The trailer, what they have is a complete total package on it. The trailer is an S-sport trailer on it. It is custom designed, custom built right for this boat. So that when you're loading and unloading it, it's very, very easy to ramp on it.
Fantastic. Now it appears to be galvanized.
Yeah, this is a hot dip galvanized trailer on it, which will hold up for many, many years in saltwater use.
Now, hot dip galvanized steel has been a very effective product, marine reliable, since about 1860, so that's incredible. Let's also talk about the price of the boat, Frank.
Yeah, pricing on a package on this boat motor trailer with all your Coast Guard equipment on it, you're around $10,900.
Okay, now let's talk. I know we can't get specific on monthly figures, but ballpark, what are we looking at?
Oh, something with around $500 to $1,000 down. You're in the $125 a month range.
Well, fantastic. This is really the time of year to buy a boat, and now with Freedom Marine's pricing, it's become affordable to have that boat on the water. Real quick, how do you get to the dealership?
We're located on US 1. We're a half a mile south of the Pineda Causeway, and we're right on the river in Melbourne.
Fantastic. Thanks for being on the show, Frank.
Thank you, John.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't pull a banker. ShipShape's coming right back.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you tune in next week when we actually put the engines on the boat and we get into some of the systems. You tune in next week. See ya.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. Ship shape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ship shape means trouble